Arkansas band director. They play the 18-12 overture. When the game is sealed up late in the game, he makes the rounds of all the different sections and really gets the crowd going.
And in Barnhill, they have a noise meter that records the crowd. But Jim Lopkin is quite famous in the Southwest Conference. And he's going to move that axe to the Southeast Conference.
Here comes Arkansas. 3-on-1. Ernie Murray will measure it from three-point land, and he hits it.
And now, that ends off the injury when you pull up on a 3-on-1 and take the three.
Arkansas, with 116 points, has now scored the most points in a game, breaking their old mark set against Baylor
March of last year.
A year ago. All sorts of numbers are falling here. But I think to get back to what we were talking to, Joe, before the last break, Nolan Richardson uses so many players on his bench that there's really only one guy, maybe two at the most. Davis, 44, who just checked into the game, is a player that's not used very often. And also, form number 23, Ken Biley, is another player that really doesn't get much play. Other than that, he uses all those players. And the way they perform throughout this tournament, we speak of guys like Wallace and Fletcher, and some of those are going to start getting a lot more time.
Well, it's not unusual for him to play 10 or 11 players in the first half. And that's good. That breaks the ice for those players, gets them over their nervousness. And then when they are called on to go back in special situations, they're ready to play.
2:42 left to go here at Reunion Arena. 25 Texas turnovers. There's a guy that's done a terrific job. And I want to remind you that Saturday at 3 Eastern, 2 Central, the Pro Bowler Tour goes to Long Island. And then it's the conclusion of the Iditarod Dog Sled Race, plus the Chief Superstars from Mexico and the Florida Derby presented by John Deere. And traveling car. Nolan Richardson, his 6th season as head coach at Arkansas, a winning percentage of 71% in the Southwest Conference Tournament. Teams will now have won 9 in a row. And during the past 3 years, the Razorbacks have won 85% of their games and 89% against Southwest Conference teams in the regular season. He's been Coach of the Year the past 3 years. His 11th year as a head coach. He won a National Junior College title
with a 37-0 record. So 31-2, not too unusual for him.
And his overall winning percentage, 73%. And he's a fierce competitor himself. And the SEC's always been a tough basketball league, Joe. It just got a lot tougher, didn't it?
Well, that's no question about it. It's going to be interesting to see Arkansas move into the Southeastern Conference tournament. There are a lot of beautiful gyms throughout the Southeastern Conference, a lot of fine coaches.
Who do you think their maybe natural rival will end up being in the SEC?
I think it's naturally going to be Kentucky. Yeah, I really do. I think they're going to challenge the university talent-wise, and style of play is very similar to Rick Pitino's style: upbeat, pressure, defense, take the outside shot. That's going to be very interesting.
And things just got a lot tougher too for another turnover for Texas.
You know, everything goes wrong when that avalanche starts.
Right, Tom Penders. This is the bad thing for Penders now. They played a good first half. His team's going to get a tournament bid, but I mean, coming off of this game, it's got to be really demoralizing.
Demoralizing, and I believe that they are players of the character that will pick themselves back up. And this second half is not indicative of their season. So, after all, 22-8. How many coaches would take that for a year?
Well, Arkansas will go to 31-3, 141 left to go. It's almost over here at Reunion Arena in Dallas. Arkansas has fairly dominated the Southwest Conference tournament in recent years.
Well, you can tell which section is Texas is right now. They're the only empty chairs in the stand, and the Arkansas people are still glued to their seats.
They won the Southwest Conference for the 3rd straight year. This will be the 3rd straight year of winning the tournament.
That's never happened before in the Southwest Conference.
And more than that, they avenge at least Nolan Richardson, his first loss to a Tom Penders coached Texas team. Joey Wright gets another hoop. 1:24 to go. 118-81. Ron Heary. And Murray, that was from NBA. Well, he's going to some shots here. He's going to show he can shoot it from that NBA line.
Joey Wright has 29. Certainly hasn't led up his offensive effort.
Loxley Colley. And that was one area where Texas was really hurt. They just had no production inside from Colley or Myers. Williams really never got it going today.
Williams finally picked up some baskets there after the game was out of reach. He's got 18 at this point.
And no big round of applause for number 44, Sean Davis. W substitute.
A top student at Arkansas. Got good size, 6'9". He's a junior. Played only 3 games last year because he had a broken foot. In addition to basketball, he was football, baseball, and track star in high school.
So a lot of substitutions now by Tom Penders. He's getting some guys into the game. And this is a big deal for them, so we want to mention that that's Andrew Fowler, 43, a 6'9" senior from Hillsboro, Texas. He's just checked into the game. Also checking in for Texas, number 24, Wynn Shepard, who's a 6'5" junior from Houston. Joey Wright's gone the distance.
I just cut the 30 mark for him. Certainly a fine offensive player, good defensive player. Kept his head up this whole game. All his opportunities, never let up a second.
Keon McCoy will now check in, and Joey Wright will get the nod. Well-deserved.
A standing ovation from some of the Arkansas fans.
Well, and a few of the Texas people are still here. They started bailing out about midway through the second half. 31 seconds to go. Murray, he liked that corner. He liked that three-point spot, but he's going to give it up. Fury will drop it back to Fletcher. That's a three-pointer. And a whistle underneath. The foul is going to be on Davis. And want to remind you, except on the West Coast, stay tuned for ABC's World News Sunday.
Fletcher getting a little ribbing here. That was only his second attempt from three-point range all year. So he was going to try to get one before this game ended.
I noticed that Nolan Richardson, usually with something polka dot on him, does have some in his ties.
He's got some great selection of ties. The one with the hogs on it.
Pink hogs.
The pink hogs. But the one today is a little more subdued.
Burdette, whose dad is the head chef for the Texas University training table. So, you know, he's a well-fed young man, both at home and at school. Clock running down. Watson puts it up and in. 120-89 as Arkansas wins their final appearance in the Southwest Conference, the Southwest Conference Tournament for Joe B. Hall. I'm Roger Suavo. Thanks for being with us from Reunion Arena in Dallas. 120-89 the final.